Reviewing and marking assignments digitally has never been easier than it is in Microsoft Teams. Not only can you assess student work and keep track of their progress, but you can also provide specific, timely, and ongoing feedback for each assignment. Students can then review this feedback, make revisions to their work, and resubmit assignments, all thanks to the feedback loop design in Microsoft Teams assignments. Let's take a closer look from the teacher perspective of how to mark or review assignments turned in through Microsoft Teams. So here I am inside a class team, again inside my general channel. I can always launch an assignment that I want to review right from the Conversations tab in that general channel. But again, if you prefer to see a simplified list view of all assigned tasks, click on the Assignments tab inside your general channel, and you will see a list of all assignments. You will also see a Graded tab to view any assignments you've already graded and returned to students. All right, let's go ahead and review one assignment that's been turned in by my student, the Factors Leading Up to Confederation assignment. To get started, I'm simply going to click on that particular assignment card. Now here I can see a chart that organizes my students according to assignments that I have to grade and those that I have completed grading and have returned to the students. If I had more than one student enrolled in this particular class, I would see all of those students here. I can see the status of their assignment. In this case, I can see that my student has turned in his or her work. I have the ability, without even going into the assignment, to click on the feedback button and enter in specific feedback for the overall assessment. And if I've previously looked at the student work, I can also provide a grade here or a raw score out of 12, because 12 points was the value of this particular assignment. Now, to look at student work, I can simply click the purple Turned In link here under Status. This launches the student's assignment inside Microsoft Word Online app. Now, I have a couple of ways of providing feedback. I can actually mark up the student assignment by simply clicking on the assignment. By default, my font color is set to red. I can always change this to an alternate color, and I could go ahead and provide feedback right on the student's work. I can also enter feedback here on the side. Now, I don't have to actually provide a mark for the student at this point in time. I can click Return here to return the work to the student with just the feedback on this particular assessment. And if I flip into Student View, I can open up that assignment, again in the Assignments tab in the General channel of my class team, and click on the assignment card. And here I can view in the assignment details the feedback that was left in that feedback box for the overall assignment. Or if I want to view feedback that was left right on the work itself, I would just simply open up my work. Again, that will launch in the Word Online app. I can view any comments or feedback that were provided by my teacher. And again, I could actually proceed to make any changes and update my work. Once I had finished revising my work based on the feedback provided, I could then simply click Turn In again. Let's switch back to Teacher View, and we'll go back into that particular assignment card. I can see the student's work has been turned in again. I can click on it, and now that I've given the student the opportunity to revise their work, maybe I'm now ready to grade their work. If there was no rubric attached to this particular assessment, I would just simply see the feedback box and the points box. And I could go ahead using a paper rubric or a marking schema to figure out the marks for this particular assignment and enter in the point value here. In this case, I have a rubric attached. So I can actually assess my students' work using this rubric. I can either click here under rubric on the name of the rubric and then navigate up here to the different criteria, starting with critical thinking, reading the criteria details, and then selecting the score, and then switching to the next criteria on the rubric, content, and again, reading the detail and assigning the score. Notice at the very bottom, if I scroll down, there is a feedback box. This particular feedback box is specific to this particular criteria. So if I switch to critical thinking, it too has its own feedback box. So I can provide specific feedback based on the details of the criteria on the rubric. Let's go ahead and click done. I can also expand to see the entire rubric at once by clicking on the expand icon. And then again, I can read through the criteria detail, assign my point values, and enter specific feedback for each of the criteria. I'll go ahead and click done. Notice that based on what I selected, the rubric scores are totaled and the points value is added here. Now, just be careful when using the rubric. If you assigned the math incorrectly when you were setting up the rubric, the points might not actually add up according to how you wish to use the rubric. So make sure you double check manually the point value. Once you are ready to move on to the next student, you could come up to the very top here and you could either click on the drop down to select the next student, or you could click the next button. If you want to return the work directly to this particular student, you can also click return. And now if I were to close this window, I would see that I no longer have any students left to grade, but under graded tab, I would see one particular student. I would see that the work has been returned, and I could click to expand and see that feedback as well as see their score out of 12 points.